A very good evening and welcome to Let's Talk Sports live commentary of the Scudetto. The Serie A is back from the winter break and the World Cup break, and it has returned today. It has been a marathon of matches all day long, but it's the big one tonight. Two heavyweights between Inter Milan, who won the league 2 years ago, against the current favourites to take the Scudetto for more than 30 years. It's Napoli, who of course are top of the table and are still undefeated going into this game at the famous San Siro. So anyway, thanks for tuning in here on Let's Talk Sport. We're just getting ready for the game to begin in just a few moments' time. We'll go through the lineups in just a moment, but do get in touch, folks, on the live chat page, and we are pretty much ready to go. So do get in touch. The players are just lining up on the edge of the centre circle after, of course, the sad news last week that the great Brazilian legend Pelé had passed away at the age of 82. As you can hear from the stands around me here at the San Siro, it's all applauds from the players, the fans, the staff here at the club. And of course, quite an emotional moment as well for any Brazilians in the stadium. We've seen it happen throughout the last few days around the world. It certainly was a sad day in football when Pelé passed away. It's quite incredible, really. 3 World Cups that he won. Deserves a lot of respect, no doubt about it. Well, the applause is done, the respect will live on, and it will be Inter Milan who will kick off here. So we'll go through the lineups in just a moment. Inter Milan in their famous blue and black strip, black shorts, black socks. Napoli in their away colours tonight, in white, pretty much on the front and the back, their sleeves covered in their famous turquoise colours. White shorts, white socks. Just waiting on the referee now, who is Simeon Sosa. He is the referee for tonight's game. So this is the last game of the day. Has been a busy one, and the first half commences. So it's Inter Milan who kicks off the game from left to right, and Napoli attacking from right to left. So let's just quickly go through that lineup, shall we? Just sort out the video printer for a moment. So it's actually 3 changes made by Inter Milan. So Dumfries has been replaced by Darmian, De Vrij replaced by Akabi, and Lautaro Martinez replaced by Romelu Lukaku. All of them players that I mentioned are on the bench. So they've got Onana in between the sticks, back line of 3, Bastoni from left to right, Akabi in the middle, and Skriniar on the right. The midfield is 5 in the midfield, DeMarco on the left, Mkhitaryan, Cole Haneglu, Barea and Darmian on the far right, and then up front it's the 2 of Lukaku and Dzeko. Meanwhile, the kick just going deep for Inter Milan here, and they could go for a first go. It's Dzeko on the edge of the D, lost the ball though. Big moment that was from Inter Milan. Only just a minute gone. Here they come now, Napoli on the halfway line, expected to be the favourites ahead of this game tonight, but it's back with their back line at the moment. So they're playing 4-3-3 it seems, with Merritt in between the sticks. From right to left it's Di Lorenzo, Kim and Ramani as the centre-backs, Oliveira on the left-back role, 3 in the midfield of Anguissa from right to left, the Botka in the middle, Zielinski on the left. Then from right wing it's Politano, Osimhen in the middle, the top goal scorer of the leagues at the moment in Serie A. And on the left, you'll have to forgive me for the name pronunciation, Kvaratskhelia is the one who's got the ball right now, and he's just been caught offside, and Darmian just nudges him away in quite an aggressive way just to get to the ball, which not really sure why, but Darmian just probably reminding him that he'll be keeping an eye on him tonight. So it's a free kick for Inter Milan. It was on the near side, and it's with their back line at the moment, with Bastoni trying to kick it forward, and Lukaku's nearly through here, and his first touch not the best, and it ended up going straight to the hands of Merit. That was a big opportunity for Inter Milan there. Lukaku picking up a long ball down the middle. He nearly got past his man of Kim, but he just couldn't keep hold of it, and that was a big chance. It looked as though Kim was able to keep up with the pace of Lukaku, but Lukaku just didn't get the chance to have a shot on goal at the end. But already Inter Milan knocking on the door. Napoli know that this is going to be a very difficult night in their bid to win their first Scudetto since, well, all the way back in 1990. And then before that, they won it in 1987. They've only won it twice in their history. So the fans have had to wait a very long time. Meanwhile, it's in the Inter Milan half with Barea. Now with Bastoni again, wearing number 95, which does amaze me how in the Italian league you see a lot of high numbers on the shirts. That might be a foul on Mkhitaryan then, it will be by Politano. So free kick for Inter Milan on the far side. And it's taken diagonally out to the right wing inside the Napoli half. Now Lukaku with his back towards goal on the right hand side of the box. That's a good ball into Dzeko. Oh, and it's just over the crossbar. And it was DeMarco at the end who got to it. It's Dzeko who couldn't reach out for it on the edge of the 6-yard box. And I think it went out for a goal kick. It was hit so wide, it looked like it might have gone for a throw-in. Lukaku with a fantastic cross. Both players of DeMarco and Dzeko were onside, and I think it was a throw, and here comes Lukaku, who's through on goal. This time, can he? No, it's stopped again. And here we go with DeMarco. He brings it in across the face of goal, picks out Darmian. Darmian with the swing there, and maybe he was just offside from what the linesman is pointing out. Already I need to get my breath back, but a couple of big chances we've already seen from the hosts. Watching that again, yeah, Lukaku was offside. Looking back at the replay, when he got the flick forward from Dzeko on the D, Lukaku made the run into the box. And then looking at the chance before that, when DeMarco got to the end of Lukaku's cross, he lofted it over the target on the far post. So still Inter Milan 0, Napoli 0, but it could have been 1-0 to the hosts very early on. And I think Luciano Spalletti, the manager of Napoli, already out on the dugout, giving his teammates some instructions. And already there's been a goal in Udinese. They are 1-0 down to Empoli, and it was Tommaso Baldanzi who scores on the 3rd minute. Back with this game, though, the visitors now at the halfway point of the Inter half. Osimhen just couldn't get the pass through to Politano at the end. Inter Milan intercept, and it's now with Skriniar, kicks it and lofts it forward. Now then, was he offside there? I don't think he was. And the cross going at the end. Barea, I think it was, he was offside. He looked offside the moment he picked up the long ball from Skriniar. Yep, he was just ahead of the last Napoli man on the halfway line. If you have just joined us, thanks for tuning in to our stream here on Let's Talk Sport, our first live commentary of the new year. I hope you all have had a good Christmas and Happy New Year celebrations. But it's mad to think that the last Serie A matches we had before today were back on November 13th, before the World Cup took place a week after in Qatar. And it's, well, it feels like a long time ago now, the World Cup starting. And of course, shy of nearly, about 2 weeks ago, we saw Argentina win the World Cup, with Lionel Messi leading that team. Let's not forget Diego Maradona, famous for playing for Napoli. You could say ever since he passed away, the gods have been looking at Argentina. Could they be looking at Napoli this year? They're looking strong at the moment. 11 points ahead of Inter Milan in the table. Currently top. Inter Milan are 4th. At the moment, Napoli just holding the ball with possession in their own half. It's now with Oliveira, the left back. Back with Clear. Now to Kim, who had to deal with that strong forward attack by Lukaku in the opening minute. Now Anguissa tried to make a pass across the field from the right hand side to the middle, but couldn't find his man. Napoli still have it in possession. They've gone back to their own half. Now a bit of a run in from the Botka. Now Clear again, he cuts in. Oh, he feels as though he got caught there. He's gone onto the ground. Inter Milan intercept, but the referee says he saw nothing about that. Ball's just gone out of play for a throw-in on this near side. Let's just watch that again. It was Skriniar with the late challenge on Clear, but the referee was right in front of it as well, but he didn't think it was enough to be a foul, and he was happy to let the game go on. And because of that, Inter Milan do get a throw-in out of it still. Darmian with the throw-in out to the right wing, and I'm not really sure what that kick was from Barella, as he tried to find someone in the penalty area somehow, but there was no player in blue and black strip ready for the delivery. There was no Zeko or Lukaku in sight. Napoli with the ball again. Sevilla now 5-0 at full time away at Deportivo. And Real Sociedad getting a win away from home as well. 1-0 they won there. But you have to go all the way back to 2017 when Napoli last won at the San Siro against Inter Milan. So it's not been a favourable place in recent history. They'll be hoping to change it all tonight. Here they come now, Napoli. Onto the right wing of Anguissa. Now Politano. Just in front of the 18-yard box as they go across in the centre. And a shot blocked there. I think that was Clear with the shot, and it got blocked. It's now with Oliveira on the left-hand side. 30 yards out. Now with Zielinski. Zielinski plays it across the field with a pass to the right-hand side. Politano wins a throw-in for Napoli. Leave it for one of his teammates to take it in line with the 18-yard box. It's throwing forward down the right-hand side. Calls for a throw-in from Mkhitaryan, and he does favour the linesman. And you can see at the moment you can see a pen in Spalletti's mouth, who must feel excited but also nervous going into this, knowing that this is their first competitive game in nearly 2 months. And I'm sure he didn't want the World Cup to come in with the form that they were playing. Haven't lost a game yet. The only team unbeaten in the top 5 European leagues. That's some achievement at the halfway point of the season. It's with DeMarco. Inter Milan just holding the ball between their back line of 3. It's now with Skriniar to Barea. Had no options there but to play it back to Onana, the former Ajax goalkeeper, who had problems with Cameroon at the end of the World Cup campaign and walked away. Not really sure what that was all about, but yeah, we didn't really see much of Onana at the FIFA World Cup in Qatar. And there has been a goal just before the half-hour mark at St Mary's. It's Southampton who are goal down to Nottingham Forest. Tyro Wanyei, who has scored on the 27th minute. That'll certainly help them out in their bid to try and survive from the relegation zone. And they got a positive result against Chelsea the other day in a 1-1 draw there. Meanwhile, back with this game, 12 minutes gone. Napoli with probably a bit more possession, I'd say, in the last 5 minutes. Osimhen with the pass to his teammate, who gets a corner out of it at the end. I think it was Politano who tried to cross it in, but he got the deflection off Bastuni. Onana just instructing his defenders ahead of this first corner of the game so far. It's on the far side. There's two Napoli players near the corner flag, both off the pitch. Ball comes in and it's straight to the hands of Onana. You can see what he's trying to do with the corner delivery there. It came curling into the 6-yard box, but no one in the white Napoli away shirt committing towards the delivery there. And Inter Milan go out of their area, out of their own half. Oh, Lukaku with a... Well, it was Darmian that didn't make it very clear there with the pass. And he kicked it behind towards Lukaku and lost possession. And then a foul by Skriniar on Vrachklia. Pushed him when trying to get the ball. And that's twice already that the Russian has been pushed around. Spalletti not having any of it with the referee, with the fact that he's not getting enough protection, maybe. We'll go through the other matches that happened today in Serie A in just a bit. Might just go through it now while the game's a little quiet. Just as I say that, it's going forward for Napoli on the left-hand side. And it's been cleared away for a throw-in at the end for Napoli. Kirby with the clearance there for Inter. Throw-in taken just in front of the Inter dugout, where of course Mr. Inzaghi is the manager of Inter Milan. Has been there since for the last couple of years. Already picked up a couple of honours for Inter Milan. Coppa Italia, of course, winners from last season. Oh, Inter trying to go on the attack from the halfway line. Instead, they go out of position. And this is a chance now for Napoli to try and open the lead here. It's Vrachklia who cuts in just on the edge of the box. Now to Zielinski, 30 yards out from goal in the middle of the park. Looks to his right. Kim with the cross in, and there's no one there. Not the best of deliveries, maybe not the best of positioning from his teammates. And it's gone behind for a Inter Milan goal kick. As we reach 15 minutes here, still goalless. Let's go through the matches that have happened already today. So AC Milan getting a much-needed win away from home. 2-1 they won against Salernitana, which was 2 goals early on within quarter of an hour. Rafael Leao scoring against the new goalkeeper of Achua on the 10th minute, and then Sandro Tonali scoring 5 minutes later. So they won 2-1 there. So that certainly helps them out in their fight to get their hands back on the Scudetto. Sassuolo 1, Sampdoria 2, Torino 1, Verona 1, Spezia 2, Atalanta 2. Roma winning 1-0 against Bologna. Lecce 2, Lazio 1, Fiorentina 1, Monza 1. That's just finished before. Meanwhile, we'll go back to that in a moment, because Inter Milan, well, they're approaching the right wing of the Napoli half. Nothing comes out of it, and it's been a last touch off one of the Inter players for a Napoli throw-in on the near side in their own half. So Lecce 2, Lazio 1, Fiorentina 1, Monza 1, and Cremonese 0, Juventus 1, and it was a 91st minute winning goal from the free kick from Milik, the Polish international. Meanwhile, we got a free kick pretty much just next to where the throw-in was taken a few moments ago. Darmian penalised there by the referee. Trying to win the ball, but was nowhere near him at the end. So the free kick's taken. Napoli just holding the ball up at the moment. It's now with Kim down the left-hand side, trying to pick out Vrachklia, but at the end it was a good run by Skriniar. He outpaced him, defended the ball away from his opponent, and let Onana pick it up in the penalty area. It's now with Onana. back to him. Kicks it out to the right wing. It nearly went out of play. And there might be a foul there against Zielinski. And he has given away an Inter Milan free kick here. He fouled Karl Haneglu. Tripped him from behind. Very late there. And Barea doing a nice back heel before that, just watching the replay. And Materazzi is watching on in the stands tonight. Famous for the headbutt he received from the great Zinedine Zidane at the 2006 World Cup final, but you could say Materazzi had the last laugh by winning the World Cup in front of the French team. It's now with Inter at the moment on the edge of their penalty area. Oh, poor pass. Trying to pick out DeMarco, I think, Akebe, but it ends up being a throw-in for Napoli. They've taken the throw-in and taken the ball back into their own half. It's with Oliveira, the left back. Now to Romani. Kim drives the ball across to the right-hand side to Di Lorenzo, but it's gone all the way back to Kim. Now Oliveira on the left-hand side again. Every Inter Milan player in their own half at the moment. Napoli with a lot more possession in this game so far. But Inter Milan with two big chances already, which they know they've got to take those chances when they're up against a team that are no doubt the best team in the league right now. Do get in touch on the live chat page. Here they come again on the right-hand side, Napoli. The cross comes in, couldn't pick out Osimhen at the end. Osimhen, 9 goals in the league this season. He's been a thrill to watch. A lot of big clubs are after him. Kvaratskhelia again. Goes in. Oh, I couldn't pick out anyone there in the penalty area, and Inter Milan clear it again. It's with Kim. He does really well to outpace Lukaku and keep the Belgian forward away from the ball and play it back to Merritt, the goalkeeper. Back with Romani. Now on the centre circle to Oliveira. Kvaratskhelia. Now to the Botka. Anguissa playing in the midfield yet again, with acres of space round him. Few options just on the edge of the box, but instead they're just playing it out wide, then playing it in the middle again. Napoli may be able to hold possession, but they're not really able to get through that midfield at the moment. It's now on the far side with Politano. Now to Romani, again back in his own half. But if you haven't yet, folks, do subscribe to Let's Talk Sport on our YouTube channel. And that was a foul there from Anguissa. Referee's not having any of it again. It was right in front of the linesman on the far side. He's still down onto the ground, and he's got his right hand to his left wrist. It was Bastoni with the push as he tried to overlap him. But you could just tell from this referee tonight, from Sosa, that's the referee, he's clearly doesn't take any crap, you could say. He wants to see a physical game between these two Italian giants. Meanwhile, Inter Milan just calming down again, playing in what looks to be a 3-5-2 formation. It's now with Onana. Boots it down the middle with his right foot. Couldn't pick out Lukaku, and the ball bounces out for a throw-in to Napoli. You can hear some of the boos here in the San Siro. Not happy whatsoever so far. But looking at the live table at the moment, if it was to end in a draw, Napoli would still be 6 points clear, but it would be a good day for AC Milan being able to decrease that gap. But meanwhile, here come Napoli now. It's with Osimhen. He's saying it was a corner kick, and it will be. And he nods towards the referee and thanks him for noticing that it is a corner. Barea not happy about it though. He's talking to the ref and protesting. I mean, Osimhen wasn't offside when he picked up the long delivery. Tried to chest it down when the ball was in the air, and had to keep the ball away from Akebi, but then he kicked it at Akebi to win the corner kick. So Napoli with the corner. Osimhen got his right foot to it, but couldn't get the right power or contact for it. And Inter Milan have been able to intercept, and now can they go on the counter? No, they can't, says Kvaratskhelia, because he's just intercepted on the halfway line by chesting the ball in the air and keeping the ball down on his feet. But Inter Milan have now won it back with DiMarco. Now with Bastone. Lukaku, the only man forward at the moment. We've not really seen anything yet from Dzeko or Mkhitaryan. Of course, they do have options on the bench if they need it in the second half. Lautaro Martinez is back in the squad after winning the World Cup with Argentina. Oh, Darmian couldn't get through there at the end in the penalty area. Nearly ran through on his own. Skriniar now with Barella. Back with Barea again, with Skriniar. Trying to pick out Lukaku, who would have been offside, I think, in front of the penalty area. Instead, Inter have gone a few yards backwards with Karl Haneglu to Barea. And good pressure there, actually, at the end by Anguissa, who pressured Barea to go all the way back to Onana. But yes, do subscribe to the channel, folks. We're just over 10,800 subscribers, so less than 200 away from that 11,000 subscriber mark. We'd love to get there at the start of this new year and help our channel grow, and to hear more live football commentaries and football watch-alongs, as well as other sports. The Masters Snooker is on next week. Myself and Stuart Davis will be doing some of the watch-alongs with that. The first major of the new year in the snooker calendar. All good build-up ahead of the World Snooker Championship come April at the famous Crucible in Sheffield. This Friday night we do have more football commentary, Man United versus Everton in the FA Cup. And meanwhile, Lukaku with a through ball to him. He's on the right-hand side of the box. Dzeko with a nice save for Darmian, and he's kicked it over the crossbar. That was a golden opportunity for Inter Milan to take the lead, and it was a lovely little pass by Dzeko to Darmian. He couldn't quite believe it, Darmian. It was there on a plate for him, but all he could do was kick it over the crossbar, and this is probably, what, just on the edge of the 6-yard box. Should have finished it there. It was a half volley kick at the end. Maybe that little bounce before the kick was a little distraction towards the way he was approaching the ball, but either way, Inter Milan know that that's another chance wasted. And meanwhile, we got our first booking of the game towards the hosts for Edin Dzeko, the man who nearly set up the first goal of the game just then. So that's our first booking. So Mr. Dzeko will have to be careful for the rest of this match. It's a late challenge. I tell you what, he nearly had studs up as well on Romani, the centre-back for Napoli. And actually watching the replay back, Dzeko with the foul was thinking it'll just be a warning, but the referee gave him the yellow and he couldn't quite believe it. Already a cracking contest between these two. Free kick taken just outside of their 18-yard box. It's gone back to Merritt, who's kicked it out to the left, but last touch coming off Darmian there for Inter, for it to be a Napoli throw in front of their own dugout. Luciano Spalletti, the manager of Napoli, watching on from the dugout. Both managers making themselves very vocal on the sidelines. It's going to be a throw-in for, sorry, not a throw-in, a free kick for Inter this time. There was a foul on Scudetto. But it really has been a physical game so far, as you'd probably expect when both teams are, well, I'd say Inter Milan are probably desperate to get the 3 points if there's any chance of them having a dig at this Scudetto title race. 11 points behind Napoli going into this game in 4th. 3 points behind Juventus after that late win for Juve tonight. And they are 5 points behind their city rivals of AC Milan. Lazio 1 point behind Inter after they got a win today, I think. No, they lost, didn't they? They lost, I can't remember. It's been so many games today. Napoli with the throw-in on the far side. And Gusa just in front of the centre circle. Now with Vrachklia on the left wing, cuts in from left to right to then pick out the Botka. They've now gone from left to right. It's now on the right-hand side with Zielinski. Zielinski out to Di Lorenzo. Di Lorenzo will make the cross, deflected and in behind for a corner kick. It came off Bastoni there, good defending, good block. Another corner kick coming up for Napoli. This is their 3rd corner already in the game. Not really seen much threat so far in their set pieces. Kim running up into the penalty area to take on this set piece. Here comes the corner. It takes a deflection from the first man and it comes out to the left-hand side. Vrachklia again, this time up against Barella. Wins a throw-in. But yeah, Vrachklia has been some players. 6 goals this season. Our very own Seb True, I think that's the play he's bought on the back of a Napoli shirt. Meanwhile, Napoli, here they come again. And there's a strike at goal. No, it's gone very well wide. And that was Zielinski with the shot. Bit of passing going on the left-hand side. Then he picks up a low ball pass. And then the goal's right in front of him from the edge of the box. But he just couldn't get the right contact behind it again. No one can finish tonight. Hence why it's still goalless after 30 minutes. And after all that, it will be an Inter Milan goal kick. They're playing it out from the back again. Skriniar boots it forward. Lukaku picks up the long pass by chesting it down. Then a bit of head tennis going on. And it ends up with Napoli winning it now with Vrachklia. He's going to cut in again, as he always does. And then plays the pass to Anguissa. But the Inter Milan player is still down. Just trying to figure out who that is. And it is Barella who is down, and the referee has paused the game so that he can get treatment. But I think this referee's been good so far. He's let the game flow. He had to book Edin Dzeko a few minutes ago, but he is trying to let them carry on even when there's been quite late challenges. So anyway, free kick ends up just being kicking the ball back to Napoli. So it's now with the Botka again. 14 minutes to go. It's been an entertaining goalless game so far. Darmian with the biggest chance of the game, but skying it over the crossbar. And now here's the Lukaku yet again. First touch. You can never really believe in his first touches. He's given the ball away. They tried to chest it up in the air. It was always going to be difficult to keep it in his control. Napoli back with the possession. Half time at St Mary's. Southampton 0, Nottingham Forest 1. Would be a huge win for Forest if they can snatch the 3 points there from down south. A long trip for them and their supporters tonight. back with this game. It's on the near side in front of the Inter dugout, and they could be in trouble here. Osimhen nearly got to it, and at the end the referee has gone back to an incident where he's saying it's offside, but Kvaratskhelia is down on the pitch again. He's been down 3 times in this game. He's going to have some cuts and bruises after the game tonight. He really is taking some contact from his opponents. So I'd imagine he'll be treated, and then we'll be back underway again. But he wears his socks just like Jack Grealish. Doesn't roll them up, keeps them low. Seems to be quite the trend these days on the football pitch. He's back on his feet, and the match is back underway again. Into now with Lukaku, and again, first touch, poor, absolutely poor, and he's just gone and kicked it out for a throw, and I think even some of the Napoli players in the dugout laughed about that one. It certainly gives the defenders of Kim and Romani one less thing to worry about, you could say. Napoli with another throw in this time. Oliveira with the throw-in to Kim. Now with Anguissa, who's just playing in the centre at the moment. Normally we see him on the right-hand side, but he's loitering around there at the moment. Now with Oliveira again to Kim. Playing left centre-back tonight with Romani at right centre-back. Now with Oliveira again to Anguissa, then back to the centre circle. Now it's out onto the far side, then rolled back to Romani. He'll play it across to his fellow centre-back of Kim. Kim, nice pass through to Kvaratskhelia. He's going to cut in again, but every time he does it, there's always 1 or 2 interplayers that get ready for that move. You'd have to get someone like Iron Robin to be able to cut in and get away from your man and then take a shot. He's not had that opportunity yet. Still in Napoli's possession, then it's with Kim, about 40 yards away from goal. Drives it out to Politano on the right wing. A cross comes in from Anguissa, and it's headed away by Skriniar. Now with Lukaku, who's come back in his own half to pick up the loose ball. Barea should get a free kick there, and he does. Has his shirt pulled by Lobotka. Free kick to come for Inter. And played out quickly as it is. But yeah, let's not forget Inter Milan at least fighting for those Champions League spots. Top 4 they need to get themselves into the Champions League for next season. And of course, they do have Champions League football next month. They're against Eintracht Frankfurt, the Europa League winners from last season. Napoli, of course, also in the Champions League next month, in what has been a fantastic Champions League campaign for them, as well as Serie A so far this season. And here they come again, the Blues, as they're on the right wing at the moment. They were past the 18-yard box, but they've gone back to the edge of the centre circle. This time it's with Kim. Oliveira on the left-hand side to Kim again, this time on the halfway line. Zielinski cuts in, drives it forward to an unmarked Politano. Back with him again. Only 2 Napoli players in the 18-yard box waiting for this cross. Back with Politano. He's making a run, makes the pass through, cross comes in, Osimhen couldn't get there, good defending by Akabe, and Darmian kicks it up in the air, and now here come Inter Milan. Can they go on the counter here with Barella? Wins a throw and he gets pushed down, but his shorts have actually been ripped. He's just pulled out his shorts in front of the referee there. I'd imagine he's just trying to tell the ref how nasty it's getting, but also maybe needs a new pair of shorts come half time. It's only on the side of his shorts, not in the you-know-what area. Free kick for Napoli, deep in their own half. A foul there by Damian. But it is great to have Serie A back. We've had the World Cup, but it's great to see some of the big leagues in Europe come back now. Premier League starting again, of course, back on Boxing Day. Serie A back today. And here they come now into Milan. It's Edin Dzeko. And then across to find the Lukaku. It instead gets deflected. It was DiMarco with the cross at the end. It's going to be a corner for Inter Milan. And if I'm correct, I think this is Inter's first corner of the game. It'll be on the far side. I'd say there's around 5 Inter players all in the 6-yard box. They're all in the 6-yard box. 2 Napoli players in the 18-yard one. Here comes the cross, trying to approach it with the near post. It's headed cleared for a throw-in on the far side. Inter will take it. But a very different corner approach there. Ended up being nothing though. And from the throw-in, they're going to go all the way back to their own half. Skriniar now in the centre circle, boots it out to the left-hand side. It's just too far though for DiMarco to get to the end of that delivery. It's a Napoli goal kick. But if you haven't yet, do vote in our live chat poll. We've asked you think it's going to win tonight, Inter Milan or Napoli, or if you want to sit on the fence, click that draw button. But we'll read some of your messages at half-time, so do get your messages in. I've noticed we've had a few getting in touch. I'll read out those messages at half-time. But this game has been end-to-end. It's been a cracking game. I mean, Napoli, I'd say, have had more possession. Inter Milan have had the better chances, though. It really has been what we hoped for in this fixture. Napoli giving it away, very costly. Now the Lukaku through on his own, he'll go for it, and he's just hit it over the crossbar. Goalkeeper was coming out, and the Lukaku, at the moment he picked up the ball, he knew he had to pick a target. It was a lovely, lovely flick forward to him as well. And it was Barella with the flick forward, and the Lukaku curved it over the crossbar. And he may get his criticism, but you can't leave the Lukaku on his own. Another chance, another shot off target for Inter Milan. Edin Dzeko in the replay, just watching him then in frustration. But Inter have got another chance here. They've intercepted again. Napoli giving the ball away carelessly at the moment. Here they come again, Inter. On the edge of the 18-yard box. Now Dzeko. Now with Barella, he's on his own. He'll go for goal. And it's DiMarco. And it's saved. What a save by Merit. He was on his own, DiMarco. I think it's going to be offside anyway. But DiMarco was through on his own. It was Barella that took a shot. Actually, I mean, DiMarco wasn't offside, but the Lukaku was. But even so, Merit didn't know at the time, and he makes a fantastic save. Close range save. Stays at 0-0. But Inzaghi, well, I think he'll be the happier manager out of him and Spalletti come half-time. But Inter Milan know that they can get these chances will be costly if they don't take them. At the moment, Napoli still level in a stadium that has not always been good to them. As I say, they haven't lost here. Sorry, they have. They've lost here pretty much every time they've come here, but their last ever win was in the league in April 2017, so nearly 6 years ago. And here are the visitors now who have the ball on the halfway line on the far side. It's with Di Lorenzo. Back with him, picking up the pass from Anguissa. Now with Romani. Plays it across to Kim. 3 minutes to go till half time. Be interested to see if we'll have any dramatic added time that we saw from the World Cup, but we haven't seen it domestically really. I was watching the AC Milan game earlier and I didn't see it at half for the half-time stoppage time there either. Anguissa. Now to Kim again on the halfway line. Napoli very calm and collective, and the way they pass the ball around, but we've not seen much pace from them. Inter Milan certainly like to break out from the back line. And Lukaku has been knocking. And Edin Dzeko, you know, with him and Edin Dzeko up front, it's not a bad A-star cast there, you could say, in terms of strikers. And again, Napoli lose the ball in the midfield. And they're trying to pick out Dzeko through the middle, but it's gone straight to Merit. Picks it up and says, thank you very much. But the San Siro in full volume tonight. Now here's Oliveira for Napoli as he enters the Inter Milan half from the left. Now to Zielinski in the edge of the centre circle, chips the ball forward, lofts it over DiMarco and out to Politano. Now with Zielinski, back to Politano. There's three, oh actually I'd say, yeah, there's three Napoli players in the box to cross it to. Instead they're going to play it on the floor, across the field, and out to the left-hand side. Zielinski. Now Politano should swing it in, and there's a flick there, and it just goes past the far post. And it looks as though it was Anguissa with the last touch there. Low ball cross. He did get his foot behind it with his right boot. Just couldn't put enough behind it to get it on target. Osimhen not happy with the way he was pulled around there by his shirt from his opponent. Yeah, Osimhen not happy about that. You just feel as though there's going to be a few bookings in the second half to come. An honour for a change. Instead of playing from the back, he's told all of his teammates, go all the way up there. He's going to kick this down the middle. Wow, no stoppage time whatsoever there from the referee, because he's just blown the whistle for half-time here at the San Siro, and it may be goalless, but it's been full of drama so far in this big clash for, well, in their first game since the World Cup break. Inter Milan with the chances, Napoli with the possession, but at the moment Inter Milan, you could say, are going to be the happier team going into the changing rooms, but they know that the chances have been wasted. A couple from Lukaku, Darmian with the biggest chance so far by kicking it over the crossbar from the 6-yard box. It's been there, they've had the chances, but Napoli know that they need to probably improve up front if they are going to get their first win in nearly 6 years here at the San Siro. So at half-time it is Inter Milan 0, Napoli 0. And before we have our half-time break, let's see if there's any messages. We've got Greg Livingston saying hi. Hello, Greg. Hope you had a good New Year. Burgoyne saying hi. You should cover the Welsh Prem again. Yes. Well, I mean, it has been a Christmas break and all that, I guess, but we are hoping to do it next Saturday. Can't confirm that just yet, but it should hopefully be me and Jamie Burgoyne. We like to call him Burgoyne now, in case you didn't know. But that will be next Saturday, the January 14th, between the New Saints, who are the Welsh Premier League champions, against Newtown. Greg asking if the game is on TV. It is. It's been on BT Sport all day, Serie A. Burgoyne also says, thoughts on Maximilian Rober signing for Leeds? Not a clue. Not a clue. Burgoyne also saying, I'm paying him 40 quid a stream. I wouldn't even pay you a penny. Andrew Pollard's got in touch. Hello, Andrew. Hope you're well. He says he's just setting up his new phone whilst watching the footy and listening to Jamie's dulcet tones. So anyway, it seems to be going on here on the live chat page. But Andrew Pollard can confirm that he went for a Google Pixel 6. I've never been a Google Pixel man, I must admit. Greg saying, would you like me to keep you up to date on Crystal Palace versus Tottenham? Yeah, why not? He says it's 0-0. And yeah. Anyway, I think we're going to have a quick break here on Let's Talk Sport. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be back for halftime for second half live commentary here on Let's Talk Sport. Can Napoli find a goal and win here at the San Siro, or could Inter Milan cause a shock? We'll be back to find out in a few minutes' time, so don't go anywhere. welcome back to our live commentary of Serie A's match between Inter Milan and Napoli, live at the San Siro. So it's half time, but we're just noticing that the Inter Milan players are ready to go again. They're just in the dugout, and the Napoli lot have just come out of the change room as well. The referee's coming through, so looks as though we'll be back underway in just a couple of moments here at San Siro. But thanks for staying with us throughout the half-time break, since we just had a quick break before the second half begins. And if you've just joined us and you haven't watched any of the game or listened to any of the game yet, it is still all square after 45 minutes. It's Inter Milan showing to Napoli that it ain't going to be easy to get 3 points here. But at the moment, just waiting for the players to come out. Will there be any changes? I'm not seeing any at the moment. I noticed during half-time that some of the Napoli bench players had a kickabout on the field, while the Inter lot actually decided to be in the change room for whatever Inzaghi had to say. And Inzaghi's back at his seat. He's just taken his big padded coat off. Maybe he's not as cold as some may think. Anyway, players are pretty much lined up. I don't think there's going to be any substitutions after the half-time break. So can Napoli get another win today? Let's not forget, they are 11 league wins on the spin, which is very impressive, and they are just about to kick off Napoli. And away we go then. Second half begins, so Napoli attacking from left to right for this half. Inter Milan from right to left. And normally Inter Milan, actually, I think it's Napoli who... No, I think it's... I should know this. No, sorry, it was Inter Milan that have scored the most goals in the first 15 minutes of play this season. Obviously that period is gone now, but maybe you could look at it towards this second half. I'm not sure, but anyway, no changes then. Napoli with the possession. It's out to the right wing. They're trying to go for maybe an early chance here, as it's with Politano. Now with Zielinski. Di Lorenzo now again on the right-hand side. Politano again swings it in with his left boot. Cleared away from the penalty spot. And Inter Milan have the ball in possession now. It's with Edin Dzeko. Looks to the Kaku. Does he get the ball through? He does. The Kaku gets there. Now on the right-hand side he is, and he couldn't pick out Barella. Barella was just a bit too far from the pass. The ball rolled behind Barella. And Napoli can breathe again for a moment because it went out for a throw-in after the incomplete pass. But again, we're getting what we saw in the first half. Napoli with the possession, holding the ball up in front of the Inter goal, but Inter Milan trying to go for those quick counter-attacks. And they've nearly worked. It's nearly worked, but not at the moment. Meanwhile, it's half-time at Villa Park. They're 1-0 down to Wolves. Can you believe that? Wolves trying to fight off relegation at the moment. And all square at Crystal Palace in what you could call a London derby. Palace 0, Tottenham Hotspur 0. Inter Milan at the moment with the possession on the right-hand side. It's with DeMarco. Now Darmian. Lukaku again. He just can't do it with his first touch. He really can't. He's cost the ball again for his team. And there was a foul by Karl Haneglu. And because of that, he's given away a free kick to Napoli just outside their goalkeeper's area. Lautaro Martinez seen on the sidelines in his yellow bib. He's warming up. Maybe we'll see the Argentine later on in this game. Napoli having to clear the ball out for a throw-in for Inter Milan. It'll be taken pretty much at the midway point in the Napoli half. Long throw to Lukaku. It's an awkward couple of bounces. Napoli, all they could do is head it out for a corner. 3 minutes in to this second half. And we've got our first corner since. This is Inter's second of the game. If I've counted it properly. Cole Haneglu to take the corner here on the near side. He kicks it in with his right foot. Again, they approach it for the near post, but again, Napoli comfortably clear it away. Napoli trying to go on the run of attack, and there was a foul against one of the Inter players, but Merritt, it looks as though there's actually an injury for one of the Napoli players. And it's actually the captain, Di Lorenzo. But there's also a foul after that, which involved Politano, who got fouled by, I think it was by Cole Haneglu. They're just showing the replay again now, so Di Lorenzo was at the end of the corner by heading the ball away, but looks as though he took too much hit by the ball and stayed on the ground after that. Either way, Napoli have got a free kick in their own half here. West Ham United 2-1 up now at Ellen Road against Leeds United. They have been able to get a goal within the first minute of the second half. Scamacca getting them ahead at 2-1. It just seems any fixture in the Premier League you keep an eye on, you just don't know what to expect at the moment. Arsenal getting a draw at home to Newcastle last night. Inter Milan with a cross in from the right, no good this time. It was well read by Kim as he headed the ball out of the area. Now here's Osimhen, sorry. But it's back with Inter again. They're going down the middle. Now DeMarco at the cross. Edin Dzeko with his back towards goal. As it passes it back to DeMarco, and it gets a last touch off a Napoli defender. I think it came off Romani at the end, and they've got another corner to come here into Milan. Now I'd like to see them try something different here, because the first two corners that they've had have been the same, by trying to maybe flick it on the near post. But both times Napoli have had no problems but to just head the ball away. DeMarco to take this one. Swings it in with his left foot. No good again. They tried, the players were positioned elsewhere, but still it was cleared away from the near post. But Inter Milan still in control of the ball. As I say that, it's been lost again by Bastone. And Napoli, well, they're not been as threatening as they normally have been tonight, and they know that they need to pick themselves up if they're going to win away from home. Here they come now on the attack from the left wing, and then a cross in for Semen. Semen should go there, and Anano was right in front of him and picked up the ball. Semen, that is. Osimhen, sorry. Osimhen, who just couldn't get, I think he might have been offside though. His right foot looked as though he was offside. And Inter Milan taking the free kick since it was offside. It's now with DeMarco, back with Onana. He's got plenty of time, he'll think about it. With the wearing all black tonight, Onana in his kit, wearing the eBay sponsor on his short sleeve. Atletico Madrid 2-0 up, and it's finished at 2-0 against Real Oviedo. Win there for Diego Simeone and his men in the Copa del Rey. Of course, Inter Milan have got a big game coming up, the Supercoppa Italiana against AC Milan on the 18th of January. Napoli have actually got Sampdoria come this Sunday, and then they don't play at home until next Friday against Juventus, which should be a very interesting game. Juventus very lucky to win today. 91st minute free kick winner from Milik to get them the win. Probably the second best team. back with the game. All square. Anyone could win this. Inter Milan probably the favourites after that first half. And they've just tried to go with a long ball from their own half deep into the Napoli half, but instead it's just headed back to the hands of Merit, who picks it up and rolls it back out to Romani. Now with Anguissa. Tried to look out for Politano, and instead it was Bastoni who headed it out for a throw-in. Throw-in taken short, and all the way back to the Napoli half. It's gone all that way back, it's gone back to Merit. Again, trying to win with the possession again. I mean, what options have we got on the bench? Well, normally we'd see Dumfries in the starting lineup. He's on the bench tonight. He come into all of a sudden, and Napoli have had to clear it just inside their own box. Ball lands on the halfway line. In to win the ball back now. It's gone all the way back to the goalkeeper, and I'm just wondering, might be a head injury here that involves Kirby. Not really sure if there was much in that. Osimhen just showing his chance before. We've not seen much of him tonight from the club's top goal scorer for this season. As I said before, a lot of big clubs after him. Be interesting to see if he stays after the summer. Thrown for Inter Milan on the far side for Darmian to take inside the Inter half. Of course, Rafael Leao scored within just 10 minutes into coming back to Serie A earlier today for AC Milan. You wonder if he'll be an AC Milan player even after this January transfer window. Inter Milan now on the attack from the left wing. DiMarco with the cross and a header in by Edin Dzeko. And Inter Milan, they've been knocking on the door and they have finally opened it and have scored to get themselves ahead against the Serie A league leaders. It was a fantastic cross with a fantastic finish by Edin Dzeko. The man loves to score and he does it again for Inter Milan. It's his 7th goal of the season in Serie A so far, and it's Inter Milan who take the lead. Inter Milan 1, Napoli 0 as we reach 56 minutes. Let's watch it again. A long ball out to the left wing of DiMarco, crosses it with his left foot, and he was unmarked at the end, Edin Dzeko. It was a free header, and he picks out the top left corner of the net. Merit had no chance. All he could do was wave his arms about and hope that he would keep the ball out. But it's been coming with Inter. They have deserved this lead. But you just can't fault Edin Dzeko. He's such a dangerous player. Not bad for a Bosnian, is he? 1-0 for Inter Milan. Yep, confirmation that goal was on the 56th minute. Napoli have restarted the game. And they're just playing it from the back at the moment as I try and update the scoreboard. There we go. Anyway, Napoli, they have to respond now if they are going to avoid defeat. It's with Politano, cuts it in, and there's a cross there. It was dangerous. It approached the 6-yard box, but well defended by Darmian, who stayed in front of his opponent and cleared it away. But his teammate of Mkhitaryan, you know what? We've not seen Mkhitaryan at all tonight. He's been very quiet. He's given away a dangerous free kick here. A good chance for Napoli to get that equaliser. But yeah, Mkhitaryan, that's probably the one player who's been very quiet in the Inter shirt so far. So there's 2 men behind the ball for Napoli at the moment. Onana communicating with his defenders. It's a two-man wall of Barella and DiMarco, the man who set up the goal for Edin Dzeko to head it home. Osimhen waiting in the penalty area. Ball comes in and it's headed over the crossbar. Very high header at the end. Goal kick for Inter Milan after all that. Just showing the replay again on my monitor. DiMarco, fantastic cross, fantastic header. We don't see much of those in English football anymore. A cross and then a header. But when it comes, it's always a treat to watch. So, Inter Milan, if they are to win this game, they'll be 8 points off the top. Still a lot to do if they have any chance in this title race. Now Lukaku tried to kick it up forward for Barella, but it's too far forward. Barella claps for his efforts anyway, as Merritt picks up the long pass for Napoli. It's now with Politano. Falls to the ground, but there was no Inter player to push him down. He just fell over. It's on the far side. Out across to the right-hand side now with Di Lorenzo as he dribbles the ball up a few yards, then plays it all the way back with a pass to Romani. And they've switched sides to the left now. Zielinski gets past Lukaku. Now to Vrachklia. You can hear boos in the stadium every time Napoli have the possession. Now with Di Lorenzo again. The vodka in the midfield. And again, they're just trying to playing it around the box, but just nothing there as Inter Milan just kick it away. The visitors get the ball back though. It's with Zielinski, pushes it up about 20 yards out to the left-hand side. Now Vrachklia to Lobotka, still on the left-hand side. Vrachklia again, unmarked as he picks up the pass. He might go alone here and go for a strike. Hits the side netting. Puts his hands out to his teammates to apologise, but to be honest, you never know. If you can get the pace right, I mean, the angle was always going to be tough. Onana had the near post covered. And it'll be a goal kick for Inter Milan. Less than half an hour to go. Could we see changes maybe from the visitors? They've got Hirving Lozano on the bench. He was warming up at half-time out here on the pitch. But at the moment, they're in trouble because Inter Milan... Oh, it's a free kick at the end for Napoli. It was nearly the last man back with Romani, but he fell to the ground. And as you'd expect, there were protests from the Inter players. Dzeko, oh, actually looking back, he did knee him in the stomach. Romani taken down there by Dzeko, but if there wasn't a foul there, Dzeko could have found himself through on goal and could have maybe doubled the lead, but that is not the case. Here come Napoli again now. And now here's a good chance for Nguesa. Instead it's Di Lorenzo with a cross. It goes across the 6-yard box. No one there to pick it up. Osimhen was just nowhere near it. Wasn't there quick enough in time. He shows frustration in his body language, but it was a good cross, but just couldn't get there to make ends meet. The monitor keeps showing replays of the goal again. And it looks as though Inter are going to make the first change, or maybe changes, because there's Lautaro Martinez is out ready to go. It's a throw-in for Napoli at the moment, and they've just taken it, so might have to wait a few minutes until we see that happen. It's with Alex Merritt then, the goalkeeper for Napoli. No clean sheet for him tonight. And there has been a goal at Selhurst Park. Crystal Palace 0, Tottenham Hotspur 1. And who else was it going to be? Harry Kane on the 48th minute as they've just started their second half. Meanwhile, Darmian with a flick header forward. Couldn't pick out Skriniar. And as the ball's gone out of play, Lautaro Martinez is about to come on. Not sure who he's replacing yet. It's going to be Lukaku. So that's it for Lukaku tonight. No goals for him. He had a chance or two, but couldn't take them. And it looks as though Gozins is about to come on and replace DiMarco, who set up the opening goal for Edin Dzeko to head the ball. So double change that was for Inter Milan. Nothing from the Napoli bench yet. Well, I nearly wrote Dozens instead of Gozens. That's wrong. So that's Gozens replacing DiMarco and Lautaro Martinez replacing Lukaku. And now we've got a double change from Napoli. I wasn't expecting this, but it involves Herving Lozano. He replaces Politano. And Raspadori replacing Zielinski. But Lozano, the Mexican international, didn't have the best of World Cups in Qatar. Couldn't help his Mexican team get out the group stages. And it was Zielinski who came off as well. Meanwhile, Inter Milan just playing in their own half, having it back all the way to Onana. Raspadori coming on then. Anyway, back with the game. So there's 25 minutes to go. Inter looking to double the lead. Napoli looking to stay in the game. I must admit, I thought maybe Mkhitaryan was going to come off, but not seen much of him tonight. The former Man United and Arsenal player. And you can hear from the Serie A, from the San Siro stands that they are very well pumped up, the Inter fans. They'll be up for going to work tomorrow if they can win this. Certainly gives them a big confidence boost. Can they do it here now? Here they come out on the attack again with Gozens. And has he won a corner? Yes, he has. And as you'd imagine, the fans on the near stand, they're running to the handlebars, pumping in the air, giving their team a support. But yeah, Gozens with the win there to get the corner. And yet again, we're going to have Karl Haneglu to take it on the near side after DiMarco went off. So he won't be taking any more set pieces. Corners have not been great so far from Inter, as I've stressed so far. And here it comes, it's swung in, and again, trying to go for the near post, but they're all crowded there, and they just let it get headed away again. Inter have won a throw-in. Maybe they're trying to be consistent with it to just see if Napoli would maybe change their approach to the corners, but it hasn't worked so far. Harry Kane has scored again at Selhurst Park. Palace 0, Tottenham Hotspur 2. 5 minutes after he opened the scoring in London. But big win that is for Spurs. They needed to win to get themselves going again after a poor defeat to Aston Villa in their own stadium back on Sunday, on New Year's Day. back with this game. Inter Milan in their own half at the moment. Onana booting the ball up in the air out to the left-hand side as it's lofted in the air. Gosens trying to keep it in play by heading it in play. And it is still on the pitch. Osimhen couldn't do anything about it. Or Simhen. It's gone all the way back to Onana. He knows how to win a league title as he did with Ajax under Erik ten Hag. Ajax lost a lot of players last summer after Erik ten Hag had gone. But that is probably the nature of the club, you could say. Here's the Taro Martinez, and he picks out a good ball to Darmian. Darmian off, poor attempt to keep the ball in possession at least, but he's kept it in play, so there's still a threat here for Inter, and they've won a corner kick. Barella winning the corner for Inter Milan, but that was a great ball from the Taro Martinez, who picked out an unmarked Darmian, but Darmian just couldn't control the ball. And if he had done, who knows, he probably could have tried to forget about his miss from the first half and make it 2-0 in this moment. So corner's going to be on the far side as we're just seconds away from reaching the 70th minute. It's a different corner approach this time. It goes across the face of goal. Edin Dzeko with the header. It wasn't a free header, and it went wide past the far post. So goal kick for Napoli. Yeah, but from the facial expression of Spalletti, the Napoli manager, not a happy man at the moment. He's got all sorts of experience. 63 years old he is. He's managed Empoli, Sampdoria, Venezia, Udinese, Ancona, and AS Roma. And let's not forget, he was the former Inter Milan boss between 2017 and 2019. So he's certainly been around the block here in Italy. But I'm sure he's been enjoying how his team has developed this season. Let's not forget, Napoli haven't lost yet this season in the league. Undefeated. Is that going to end tonight? If Inter hold on to this scoreline for the next 20 minutes or so, it'll be some achievement by the team in black and blue. Here is Gosens now as they attempt to go for that second goal. Poor attempted pass to the Taro Martinez into the middle of the penalty area. Tried to kick it forward in the air. It was nowhere near Martinez. He may have a fresh pair of legs on the pitch, but he's not that quick. The ball's now on the halfway line. Gosens trying to heroically keep the ball in play, but it instead went out for a throw-in to Napoli. If you have just joined us, welcome to Let's Talk Sports live commentary of Inter Milan versus Napoli. 1-0 it is to Inter Milan. Edin Dzeko on the 56th minute with a header. Nice free header at goal, and that's what separates the two sides. And I would say Inter Milan have been the better team so far. Looking at our poll, Napoli leading it at the moment at 66%. Inter Milan 31% and just 3% for a draw. Napoli with the goal kick. Merit playing it from the back with his defenders. It's on the far side at the moment. And Gusa. Now to Herving Lozano, his first touch with the ball since coming on in the last few minutes. He wins a throw-in. Last touch off another substitute of Gosens. Di Lorenzo with the throw-in. Now Ngusa again, back to Di Lorenzo. Now all the way to the halfway line of Romani. Then they're playing it through the middle low, but instead it's intercepted by Lautaro Martinez. Edin Dzeko on the edge of the centre circle. Now to Mkhitaryan on the left-hand side. His pass takes a deflection off one of the Napoli players, but Gozens does get to the end of the pass at the end. It's now with Martinez. Sorry, no, it's Berea, wearing short sleeves and a pair of gloves, which I'll never understand. They have the option of long sleeve shirts or thermals under their shirt. So he's happy to wear short sleeve shirt but then wear gloves. I've never understood that. Reminds me of Patrice Evra doing that all those years ago in a Man United shirt. Napoli now in possession. They are not really been, to be honest with you, they have not really been fighting for that equaliser. Meanwhile, at Ellen Road, Leeds United have fought back an equaliser from Rodrigo 20 minutes before the end of their game. Leeds United 2, West Ham United 2 now. Barcelona now 1-1 away from home against Intercity. They were 1-0 up, but Soldevilla Pereg has scored on the 59th minute there. Back with this game now, it's Martinez, pokes it forward, couldn't get it to Zeko. Zeko knows he's not quick enough to get there, and Romani intercepts, but Edin Dzeko has gone down to the ground, and I have a feeling he's got a cramp. Yep, he's sitting down, and maybe that could be it for him. Carrera is about to come on for Inter Milan, the number 11 man. Will that be to replace Edin Dzeko? Might be a good idea as well, because Edin Dzeko has got a yellow card to his name in this match, let's not forget. The only booking in the game. So it looks as though the goal scorer of the night so far is going to come off. He gets applause from the home fans. It was a great header, wasn't it? And Carrera will replace him, but it looks as though there could be one more substitution. Dumfries is going to come on, and he is replacing Darmian. Darmian, he had a big chance in that first half that he didn't take. And there'll be a substitution for Napoli, just the one from them. Almas is coming on, the number 7. Actually, it could be 2. Almas replacing Brachklia. Not seen much from him tonight, I don't think, from what I've seen. Almas replaces him. And Anguissa has gone off as well for Ndombele. So the game back underway. Can any of these substitutes work out for Spalletti? But still walking back to the dugout, because he went off on the far side of the pitch, is Brachklia. I'm a big fan of his, but he just didn't do it tonight in that Napoli shirt. Inter Milan now on the attack. Couldn't get it going though, as they lost the ball at the midway point in the Napoli half. It's now with Ndombele to Lozano, both of them substitutes that have come on in the second half, and they couldn't pick out Osimhen at the end. And Inter will be happy to just kick that ball away from the danger zone. Carrero getting his first touch of the game since replacing the goal scorer of Edin Dzeko. Lost it on the halfway line though. It has died down since that opening goal. Napoli now with the cross. Osimhen just couldn't get to the end of it. And there could be a foul from behind. No, referee says play on, but here come Inter now. There's 2 up front, up against 3 Napoli defenders. It's now with Dumfries, who's just come on the far side. Returning from the World Cup after being knocked out with the Netherlands in that dramatic penalty shootout against the eventual winners of Argentina. It was an incredible game. Weghorst with those 2 late goals to keep them in it and to take it into extra time, and then penalties. Unbelievable game at the Luciel Stadium. Dumfries as well, also gathering interest around the world, especially Europe. Anyway, here come Napoli now, looking for that equaliser again. Low ball cross, couldn't pick out Herving Lozano. Onana will let that roll out for a goal kick. And it was Raspadari who made the cross, but just couldn't find Lozano in time. Onana will take the goal kick. He'll play it out to his right of Skriniar. Tries to boot it diagonally across the field, but only to be comfortably intercepted by Di Lorenzo. Plays that back to Merritt in the 6-yard box. Back to Di Lorenzo out onto the right-hand side. Plays it across the field. Now onto the far side. Oliveira. Now with Ndombele. Tries to take on his man. And there's actually calls for a foul against Barea. And Napoli have themselves a free kick. It was actually Carrera who made the foul. Went from behind on Ndombele, slid in, but didn't get the ball. He caught the Napoli midfielder. And now here we've got a free kick on the left-hand side. A chance to cross it in and find someone to slot it home for Napoli. Just seconds away from reaching the 80th minute mark. Inter Milan 1, Napoli 0. Referee just having a few words with some of the Inter players before they take this free kick, Napoli. But they've got to take their chances now, the visitors, if they are going to avoid defeat. Here comes the free kick, swung into the edge of the 6-yard box, headed out to the edge of the 18-yard box. Now Di Lorenzo swings it in with a cross. It was low, didn't pick out anyone in white, in a white shirt, and it was cleared out for a throw-in on the near side. Napoli with the ball in their own half again. There's been a second yellow card for Empoli. Jean Daniel Akpro on the 79th minute. I'm just wondering if that's the Akpro that our good friend Jamie Bajoin loves. There's an Akpro who has something to do with Flint Town United. Can't remember the first name. Seems to be a few Akpros in the world of football, and I get mixed up with them. Be interesting to see how much added time we get in this game. We didn't have any in that first half. Inter Milan bidding for that second goal to close the gap on top spot instead, as they try and start the attack from the halfway line. A ball across the field just ends up going out for a throw-in. It was a bad pass by Mkhitaryan. Here he is again on the edge of the centre circle in the Inter half. Plays the pass backwards. Now on to Gozens. Gozens. Oh, tried to get it through to Martinez. After a deflection, Martinez does get to the end of it. And I think there might have been offside at the end, because it's going to be a free kick for Napoli. Oh, just offside, I'd say. There's going to be another substitution, and this should be the last one for Inter. Cagliardini replacing Mkhitaryan. So it looks as though maybe Inter might just defend for the rest of this game. Been another goal at Selhurst Park. Not Harry Kane this time. Instead, it's Matt Doherty who has scored. And that's pretty much put the game to bed there against Patrick Vieira's lot. Carrera stopped by the referee. A foul on Lopat on Lobotka. Seven minutes to go. Full time at St Mary's. Southampton 0, Nottingham Forest 1. Fantastic win for the promoted team. And back with this game, Inter Milan. Could they put the game to bed here? Instead, nothing from it goes. It just falls to the ground. Fans didn't like it, Inzaghi didn't like it. But the referee says play on. He's going to give a yellow to Barea. I think he's had enough of his mouth tonight. And he's given Barea a yellow card. He'll have to be careful what he says for the remainder of the match. Second booking of the match as well by the referee. None have gone to Napoli, just the two for Inter Milan. That was Edin Dzeko before he was substituted and before he scored the potential winning goal, and then Barea just then. Oh, the Botka's just gone off as well. And that should be their last substitution. And he's been replaced by Simeone. It's getting a bit rowdy here, and there's another yellow card this time. I think this time it's... I didn't see the foul, I was just making a note of the substitutions. And I think it's Di Lorenzo who's just been given the yellow card. Yep, it is. But frustration always comes up at this point of the game when, especially the team that is trailing. Could be a party here tonight in Milan with that noise, as you can hear in the background, at the famous San Siro. So Inter Milan have got a free kick here. It's about 35 yards from goal. It's on the left-hand side. Cal Hanaglu to take this free kick. He boots it in with his right foot. It doesn't even reach anyone because it goes beyond the goal, over the crossbar. Wasted set piece, and it's a goal kick for the visitors. Taken quickly because they know they haven't got time on their side. They're trying to avoid their first defeat of the season. Like I said before, they won their last 11 matches in a row in the league in their aim to win their first Scudetto for more than 30 years. Their last ever title win in 1990. Onana picks up a loose ball, high fives his teammate, and gets applause from the fans. Lukaku and Mkhitaryan just watching on in the dugout, standing up, probably a bit nervous, hoping that their teammates can bring it home. It's with Gozens now, down the left-hand side to Correa. Correa having to keep his back towards two Napoli defenders. Napoli win the ball back. And Almas doing a fantastic run to get it out of their own half. Now that should be a yellow card, surely, against Dumfries, and it is, and I think he was taking one for the team there. Yellow card for him as he stops the run of play. No doubt about it. Dumfries knew what he was doing. He pulled his shirt down, and I think that was on Simeone, who's just come on, the number 18. Anyway, it's just inside the Inter half now with Napoli looking for that equaliser. It's out to the right-hand side of Di Lorenzo. Di Lorenzo plays it forward onto the Zano. Oh, it's a poor touch by the Zano. Couldn't keep the flow going, and he gives away a throw-in. Osimhen, not seen anything from him tonight. There's been a couple of crosses, but he's just not been there at the right place at the right time. Bastoni will take this throw-in. As you'd expect, he's trying to kill as much time as he can, while the linesman near him is telling him to hurry up. Takes a long throw-in down the left-hand side. Now Correa, oh, and he's fouled. Is that a yellow? Yes, it is, against Kim. Kim doesn't even protest. He jogs away and just focuses on this free kick. It's not in a dangerous area. It was just inside the Napoli half, on the halfway line pretty much. Never got the ball whatsoever there. Here they come again, Inter. Gozens with a cross in the air. Didn't pick out anyone in black and blue. Now Napoli need to go on the counter. Here's Lozano. And it's a run now from Raspadori. He gets pushed from behind, surrounded by 4 Inter players on the right-hand side. Referee happy for the game to carry on. 2 minutes to go. And it's been another goal at Selhurst Park. This time Tottenham are running riot tonight in the Premier League. Son gets himself a goal. Son Heung-min. And there's going to be a corner here for Napoli on the far side. It's their 4th corner of the game. I would say they've got options to take it short, but Napoli have pretty much thrown in everyone in the penalty area as they get ready for this corner. Again, trying to go for the near post, but easy enough for Inter to just boot it away and tell Napoli you got to come again. And Ndombele intercepting for Napoli on the halfway line. Short pass to Kim. Kim goes backwards to Ndombele. Inter Milan will be happy to see that. As far away from their own goal as possible. Is there one more chance? They've had more possession here, 63%. Ball swung in. Header nowhere near as good for Osimhen. Back with a chance for Lozano. And then a chance here, it's a free chance. Oh, and it's straight at Onana. Great save. I'm not sure who took the shot, but it's with that man again. And it's cleared away by Bastoni. There was hearts in mouths then with the Inter Milan fans. It's out of the danger zone for now. And after all that, it's headed all the way back to Merritt. But it looks as though Raspadori has fallen to the ground and he won't get up. Raspadori, that is. So it ended up being Raspadori who took the shot, and it just hit the chest of Onana. So the keeper saving the day there, and we have got 4 minutes of added time. So it's fair to say they're not picking up from what they did at the World Cup by using the crazy amount of added time of 8 minutes, 10 minutes, you name it. Looks as though it might not be a thing domestically. Napoli need to get out their own half. It's with Kim. And Lozano beaten in the air. Came off an Inter player, so Di Lorenzo will win a throw in here. Takes it pretty much on the near side of the halfway line. Osimhen pressuring Barea as he clears it. It's a long one. Martinez wins a throw-in at the halfway mark of the Napoli side of the pitch. A minute gone of added time. Inzaghi having a word with Gozens on the sidelines as Gozens taking all of his time to make this throw-in. Martinez, oh, his shirt was pulled there by Romani, and I think it is a free kick, and I think it might be a yellow card. Martinez trying to let the ball go past him to make the run, and yeah, he's pulled his shirt. Free kick for Inter to come. Either way, it kills a few more seconds. It's on the opposite side of the pitch. That's what they want. Rafinha has just put Barcelona ahead with 13 minutes to go. Away at Inter City, they lead 3-2. Martinez with the short free kick. They're trying to kill time and just play it near the corner flag. For now, they've just won a throw-in. All the bench players and the staff of Inter Milan are all on their feet, getting ready to hope for them to hopefully celebrate a big win here over Napoli. And a header flicked forward across the face of goal. Osimhen's having to come back and make the clearance. Booted away out for a throw-in by Skriniar, the captain. It's going to be a throw-in for Napoli on the far side. Well, I thought Romani got a yellow card, but it hasn't come up on the monitor, so maybe there wasn't one. Was probably enough to be a yellow card. Ball up in the air. in the Napoli half at the moment. Correa couldn't get there. Napoli now booting it out to the left-hand side. We're into the last minute of added time. 4 minutes were given. We're in the 93rd minute. They've got a throw in here, the visitors. 30 yards from goal on the far side. Throw-in taken. It's now with Raspadari, and he's lost it. And as you'd expect, Karl Haneglu, the moment he had that ball, he was happy to just boot it away out of the Inter Milan half. Merritt kicking it up in the air again into the last 20 seconds of added time. Again, Lozano couldn't get anything going on the right wing, and here is Barea, who intercepts and pushes the ball forward. Now with Martinez on the left-hand side, he's got support, but instead he's ran into his opponent, and the visitors have the ball again. We've reached 94 minutes, and the referee will blow the whistle for full time, and a big roar here at the San Siro, because Inter Milan have ended the unbeaten run of the league leaders Napoli, and it's thanks to that man Edin Dzeko, who scored the only goal of the game. It proved to be the winning goal of the game on that 56th minute with that sweet header from a DeMarco cross. And while all good things must come to an end, I guess, for Napoli, they're still top of the table, and they will still be 8 points ahead of Inter Milan come the end of this game. But they have finally received defeat, and I think the big challenge for them now is, for Spalletti and his men, is how do they recover from it. As we mentioned, Spalletti, he's just gone to the well, I was going to say gone to the officials, but he's just talking to Ndombele. A bit of frustration between the two, maybe an argument taking place there. He did let Ndombele come onto the pitch late on as a substitute, but anyway, all that matters is the fact that the winning goal was just the one from Edin Dzeko. Udinese won, Empoli won in their game, as they've just about to reach the last minute of added time as well. But it has been a fantastic game. What a win that is for Inter Milan. It makes the title challenge very interesting indeed. So that basically means that Napoli, not their day today, in their first day back in this Serie A season, because AC Milan won earlier today, they are just 5 points behind Napoli, and Napoli will be annoyed to see that finally that they now have got one defeat next to their name on the top of the Serie A table. But for Inter Milan, they stay fourth. They are, as I said, they are 8 points behind Napoli. They are just 1 point behind Juventus after Juve won on the last kick of the game today from a free kick scored by Milik in their away match. So that is your top four at the moment. Napoli first, AC Milan second, Juventus third, and Inter Milan fourth. Lazio 3 points behind Inter Milan in fifth with 30 points. AS Roma got a win today, 1-0 it was to them, and that is them level with Lazio, but because of the goal difference, the difference being 9 goals, Lazio are fifth in that Europa League spot at the moment, while AS Roma, who are 6th, are in that Europa Conference League position, which they know full well about the Conference League when they won the first ever edition of it last season under Jose Mourinho. Quickly mention the relegation zone between 18th and 20th. So Sampdoria at 18th with 9 points. They're 5 points off safety of Spezia with 14 points. Cremonese will be really annoyed with their defeat to Milan today. They'll feel like they could have at least got a point from that game against the league champions. 2 points behind Sampdoria in 19th, and 1 point ahead of the team in rock bottom, that is Verona, with 6 points. So this is all after they've played 16 games, and Napoli's next game, if it will load up for me, it is against Sampdoria this Sunday at 5 o'clock. They are away from home for that one, so you'd feel as though they should be able to recover from the defeat tonight and get themselves back into winning ways in the new year. Inter Milan, though, who have they got coming up? They have got Monza away from home on Saturday night, which is pretty much a derby. Monza near Milan as well, so It'll be a big occasion for the Monza lot, welcoming the 2010 Champions League winners, or you could say two-time European Cup winners of Inter Milan. Anyway, I think we're going to wrap it up there. So thank you all very much for tuning in tonight here on YouTube on Let's Talk Sport. As always, it's great to have you on, and thanks for getting in touch on the live chat page and for voting on the poll. If this is your first time on Let's Talk Sport, click that subscribe button, give this stream a like, and we'll be back very soon here on the channel for more content, of course, as always. Next week, we've got a bit of the Masters Snooker coming up, the first major of the new year, with these top 16 players going at each other at the Ali Pali, as also known as the Alexandra Palace. And we might just be doing Man United versus Everton this Friday night at 8 o'clock in the FA Cup. So do stay tuned and click that subscribe button so you know when our next videos and live streams will be coming up. Anyway, we're going to wrap up. Thanks very much for watching. As I said, it is Inter Milan who get the last laugh of today's busy marathon of football of Serie A. Serie A is back, and it's certainly back with a bang, and the title race is very well open. Edin Dzeko, the man of the hour. Thanks very much for watching. See you later.